Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert, joined as always with my co-host, Joel Meyer. How are we doing tonight, Joel?
Pretty good, man. Still on a high from last night, the Quinn Hughes overtime winner. I think I still have a halfer after that glorious goal. Yeah, I mean it's weird because back I spent maybe 5-6 years out of hockey, after the Sakic years, whatever. And then I was all into music, philosophy, and whatever. But then when I got back into sports, I really tried to like the Canucks, the hometown team. That's what you're supposed to do. You want to shoot for the hometown team. I tried my best, but at the end of the day, the heart disagreed. So I stuck as an Avalanche fan. But now that I got a shitload of money on the Canucks in so many different ways, I am turning back into a Canucks fan, like 100%. That's one way to get your heart and your back into it, is just having it tied with your bankroll. And I'm just absolutely loving the Canucks season right now. See, Pedersen got a goal already with a Hughes assist, so we're just keeping it rolling, boys. Not the power play goal, that's a problem. We can get into that later, but 5-on-5 play's got to step it up. But yeah, so far so good for the old Nucks.
Yeah, I mean, you have so many different bets on them too. You got Pedersen, you got Demka, you got Quinn Hughes for Norris, maybe for Hart too. You got Tocchet. You get your daily Tocchet bet in.
Of course, it's getting a little expensive now, but there's still some value in there. There's still a little bit of meat on that bone.
Yeah, that's how I was last season with the Eagles, because I got them to win the Super Bowl at a pretty good price mid-season. So I was kind of back in on them, and then they broke my heart. Mm-hmm. I hedged out for a little bit because, of course, I did, but still, it was heartbreaking there. I'm doing all right tonight. Penguins screwed me. They lost to the Devils they're not making the playoffs. Talent, you're not going to listen to this anyway, but they're not making the playoffs.
You just need to insult some Leafs, and then he'll listen.
Oh yeah. Also, Yotes won. They didn't cover the team total. Golden Knights wild comeback in the third period. They went up by 2 on a power play. Canadians came back. What else we got? Those are the games. The final Lightning up 2-1 on the Blackhawks right now. Canucks Flames tied 1-1. So we'll keep you updated on those games as those go along, though, even though they're going to be finished by the time you listen to this, I'm sure. All right.
Habs broke my heart. They were up. They had two goal leads, 2-0 and 3-1, I think. But the Knights are too good at coming back in these games. Great performance by Caden Primo. Who's the injured goalie? Why is he playing in that now? Is it Jake Allen is out? I think that's who it was.
Guess
I saw
Montembeault started recently.
Yeah, so it must be Jake Allen. Unfortunately, he had a tremendous start to the season.
Yeah, he was good. I forgot. Speaking of the Knights, it looks like my live betting touch has been back today. I hit the Knights. I hit the Lightning when they're down 1-0. They're up 2-1. I hit the Red Wings earlier. Also, shout out Talon for his dream he had for his 3-3 final score. I took one step further. I put some on 3-3. I put some on 4-4. So that went 4-4 into overtime. So that was a good way to start the day, along with hitting my over there. And if you took this end, you would have cashed out early if you're on Bet365, because they were up 3-0. They were up 4-0. It looked like it was gonna just walk the whole way.
He said that it was a God game. Who knew that he turned into a prophet with his dream?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. We got 3 game slate on Friday. We're touching on our weekly player award update stuff. Still some interesting markets there. But in the meantime, make sure you go subscribe to the Hockey Gambling Podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. If that's on Apple, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. Same thing on Spotify. Please subscribe on YouTube as well. Give us a like, give us a comment. All the good stuff over there really helps the algorithm, helps the show grow, helps for more discoverability. And also helps show the grow is the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. Apparently, the Hockey Channel has the most active members of the SGPN Discord, like 4 of the top 5 or something.
By far.
Is not surprising given how active we are. So if you want to join the Discord, sg.pn/Discord, that's a short link, or you can just search for the Sports Gambling Podcast Network if you're on Discord, or you can reach out to the Hockey Gambling Podcast Twitter account at HockeySGPN. We'll get you there, or you can reach out to me on Twitter, or you can go down to the local bookshop and get in your daily talk it for Jack Adams bet, and Joel will be right there along with you, and he'll be like, all right, how do you get on the Discord? And Joel will tell you right then.
Good one.
All right, anything else from tonight? We can kill a few minutes, or are we just going to go into these games tomorrow?
No, I didn't really see too much. Just fucking Tyler Toffoli keeps killing it, man. He's got such a wicked shot. Yeah. He was the one who put that game over. No, I didn't. Of course, I get home from work when the third period is starting or thereabouts. So yeah, I missed the first two periods. I guess it was the NHL rink size in the early game.
I was going to bring that up. I did not notice it, but I did see a big stink being made about where the benches are. Like 75% of the benches are in the like offensive or defensive zone. So they were talking about how teams could get rogue offsides calls or too many men calls. And I think they got a too many men call late in the game. That was kind of touchy. But
interesting. Okay,
I think the Senators were not able to convert on that. But I did not see a verdict. I didn't really search out for it. But
so you didn't watch the game.
I didn't. Well, it was like 4-0. That's why I was working. So I was like, nah, I'll just whatever. But I watched a bit of it, and it looked wider, but it may have just been the camera angle or something. I don't know if we have someone.
It must be NHL size, because you would notice if it was the European, because it's like fucking wide, and it's instantly apparent.
All right. I mean, yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, that was a back and forth game. We got plenty of more of those coming up. Global Series, I think, throughout the weekend. So make sure you guys check that out. And make sure you guys check out Bet365. We're brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is the world's favorite sports book, trusted by over 88 million players worldwide. Prop sides, totals, live betting. Bet365 has you covered. And if you like boost, you're going to love Bet365, like a 30% profit boost on your same game parlay. Plus, they even have an early payout offer. Your team goes up 3 goals. Sign up today and choose from 2 bonus offers, either a $1,000 no sweat bet or bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets. Just head to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365, or use the sign up link in our show bio. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long, no matter the sport. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. Mitchell, ready to go into this big 3-game slate for Friday, November 17th.
Yes, sir.
All right, kicking off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern, game in Sweden, the Global Series. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Detroit Red Wings, back-to-back for the Red Wings. So I believe it should be Alec Lyon in net. Their Red Wings are plus 142. Maple Leafs are minus 170. Over-under is at 6.5, overpaying off minus 125. Under plus 105. What do you got for this afternoon matchup here?
Well, I mentioned yesterday that I think it was yesterday that I don't bet these European games, but I might do it this one because the total at 6.5, minus 125. The way the Wings are playing, the way the Leafs are playing, neither team can play defense. Both teams have questionable, inconsistent goaltending. So I think the only way I'd look is the over. Now that we are 95% sure that it is the NHL standard rink size, ice size, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, the over would be the look. I mean, the Leafs at minus 170, I think, is a little cheap too, considering it's lying in net, and then the Red Wings are not a good team. They've just been, they've been getting lucky with the goal scoring and then or the occasional hot goalie game. So I lean to the Leafs, but stronger lean to the Leafs, or rather the over for this one. I might bet it. We'll see. We'll see how the lines go. But at this point, that's the way I'd play this game.
Yeah, I mean, I lean both of those ways as well. Over 6.5. It's minus 125 here, but you can still get it minus 115. I think that's a great bet given how the Red Wings played today. I mean, they showed they can score, and they showed they're going to allow some goals too. And just Toronto may show some sleepiness, some jet lag or whatnot, but they've been there for a few days now. They should be raring to go there with Willie Nylander taking the going back to Sweden. He's probably their best player right now. I think he's had a point in every game so far, or most of the games. And yeah, Detroit just is not playing good hockey. Back-to-back does not help them either. So like the Leafs here a lot as well. Leafs minus 170. That should definitely go up. Don't mind the puck line plus 145, but could be a close game. So over and the Leafs for me. Going down to 8 o'clock now. We have the Buffalo Sabres at the Winnipeg Jets. Game itself is in that cold-ass, boring-ass Winnipeg. Jets are minus 180 on the money line. Jets on the puck line are plus 140. Sabres are plus 150. Over-under is at 6.5. Overpaying off minus 115 with the under at minus 105. First game without Tage Thompson for the Sabres, right? He was injured in the loss to the Bruins, the back-to-back losses there for the Sabres. Now lost 3 of their past 4 as well. Meanwhile, you got Winnipeg on the other side, won 4 of their past 5. Only loss was to Dallas, which there's no shame in that based on how Dallas is playing so far this season. So I like Winnipeg here. I'm going to go with Winnipeg on the puck line, plus 140. They've been winning games by at least 2 goals, 3 goals. 6-3, 6-3, 5-2, 5-3, 4-1, 4-2 are their last 6 wins there in their last 10 games. And Sabres may not be able to score much without Tage Thompson. They got outscored 5-2, 4-0 in their past 2 games. So see something similar here. So yeah, give me the Jets on the puck line at plus 140. For a side, I'd probably lean to the over, but pass on the total for me.
Yeah, I agree with you with the Winnipeg Sabres. You can buy into the fallen star theory. Maybe they rally the troops and rally around their fallen hero and come up with a strong performance here, trying to compensate for their missing star player. But you can't overlook the Jets here. These guys are legit. They're playing some excellent hockey. They're winning games, and they're winning games comfortably, like you said. And yeah, their numbers are looking pretty good. Beneath the wins too. So they're not being too fortunate. Connor Hellebuck is, and they're doing without Connor Hellebuck being Connor Hellebuck. Right now, he's not one of the better goalies in the league, but it doesn't matter because these Jets can score and they're playing better defensively. So yeah, I love the Jets here. Just much more complete team. Sabres. I got a bet to mention later on about the Sabres, but for this one, we'll start it off with like a Jets in regulation or the puck line if you like. Yeah, I like that. The total, I think I like the under 6.5. I mentioned Hellbuck struggling, but he's still he's still a great goalie beneath all that early issues after signing a big contract. And like I said, they're playing much better defensively. And the Sabres, they're very hit or miss when it comes to goal scoring. Plus, I think that they'll be trying to play a more defensive game without Tage Thompson around. That's a possibility, a strong possibility. So I lean to the under, but I think the better play is just backing the home team in whichever way.
Yeah, all right, going down to the final game on the docket here at 10 o'clock. We have the Florida Panthers at the Anaheim Ducks. Game itself is at the Quack Palace. Ducks are plus 140. Panthers are minus 166. Over-under is 6.5. Overpaying off minus 130. Under is at plus 110. What do you got for this Cats versus Ducks matchup?
Florida are about to play the Kings in about 15 minutes here. And so, yeah, it's tough to bet a game in advance, but I do that all the time, so I can't use that as an excuse to pass this up. And yeah, the Ducks got smashed by the Avalanche in their last game, but that was totally a scheduled loss after going all over the place. That was the 3rd game in 4 days. Plus, they went from Nashville up into Denver with the altitude. You could see they clearly did not have the juice to keep up with the Avs, who were on a bit of a roll now, 2 games in a row. And so it's a different situation here coming back home and all that, but I don't really have a strong feeling in this game. Maybe is it Bobrovsky in net tonight? I should have looked at this beforehand.
It is. It's the Stolar's revenge game tomorrow.
Okay. The Stolars are.
He was with the Ducks, right? He's with the Panthers now.
Yeah. You're right. Stolars revenge game, sure. I guess the under maybe, but it's a Panthers game, man. They don't play defense, and they don't have their 2 best defenders either. So this is just a hard one to call. I guess take the Ducks, considering the Panthers are going to be in a hard fought battle with the Kings, and this line will likely go one way towards the Ducks. So at this point, bet the Ducks or nothing. Lean to the under 6.5. Ducks playing incredibly better than they did last year defensively. And they're getting some good goaltending from both their goalies. Gibson and Dostal have both been great. So lean to the under, lean to the Ducks at this point, but not feeling too confident about either.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much all of that. The Ducks here are plus 140. That is the highest they are on the board. They're as low as plus 130 most places, down at plus 125 elsewhere. So that line is definitely going to move towards them, especially if the Panthers, depending what happened with the Panthers tonight in LA. If I had to go away, I might throw a half unit on the Ducks or something like that. So we can all be quacking on a Friday night in the Discord there, having a good time. But yeah, for the total, I think I have to lean to the under 6.5 just because it's at plus 110. But the Panthers have been playing a bunch of over games, but maybe they kind of tone it down a bit on a back-to-back. I'm not sure if that's something they even know how to do. And the Ducks, yeah, it looks like they're having some regression finally, but that was a schedule loss, as you mentioned. So maybe returning back home here would be good for them. So yeah, lean to the Ducks and lean to the under there. Just both underdogs.
These are two teams that also thrive when they're from behind. Like the Ducks have been especially lucky this year coming back from a goal, 2 goals down, winning in the third period or in overtime. And the Panthers have always been like that for the past 3 years. They go down 2 goals. They've got no problem winning the game 4-3. So that's a live betting opportunity, perhaps.
Yeah, and sometimes you can even bet a team to win from behind. So that's usually team to win from behind.
Team to score first to lose is a popular one, right?
Yeah, but here's one here. Team to win from behind. Panthers are plus 270. Ducks are plus 340. So like just
bet them both.
just pick, or pick one. Or yeah, if you're gonna be active in the Discord, there's gonna be live bets all the time there, especially with Archer with all of his live period bets and whatnot. So there's plenty of action to get in on there. All right, consensus plays for this big 3-game slate. The Leafs Red Wings over 6.5 minus 125. That is the NHL rank, by the way. So it's confirmed there. And then the Jets either on the puck line plus 140, or I think regulation is minus 130 at home against the Sabres there without Tage Thompson. All right, I got a short slate, so that means it's time for the Professor Meyer weekly NHL Player Awards updates.
Yes, I guess we don't have a best bet because we don't feel confident about any of these plays. Maybe just the Jets. Give us a double one on the Jets in regulation.
I don't know. I might like the Leafs Wings over more.
Okay, then I'll take the Jets in regulation.
Right, those are our best bets then. Let me see how our ones last week did here. Pull up.
I won the
spreadsheet.
Sharks. I bet against them. Who do they play?
I did not
Panthers.
Put it in the
it's the Panthers minus 1.5.
Oh, okay. I don't have it in the spreadsheet, so we'll have it for
you lost yours. I'm pretty sure.
I
you don't remember.
I don't remember. I probably lost it though, based off how my locked all total were going. So that would track for me. All right, what do you got though? You want to start with the heart?
Let's go. Start with the heart. Yeah, that was the Lightning scored. Let's see. The heart is an interesting one because the Connor McDavid show is back on track after scoring in 2 straight games, I think, and he's looking a lot better, at least from what I saw in the game against the Kraken and the come from behind win there. But his odds strangely have only gone up, so figure that out. Plus 330 I'm seeing here. Austin Matthews back up to 6-1 just because he hasn't played a game. What kind of fucking sense does that make? So yeah, at this point, it's Jack Hughes back down to 9-1 again, just because he hasn't been playing. He's going to be back on Saturday against the Rangers. I'm 90% sure. And so yeah, I think that the Matthews and Hughes are look a little juicy there. Connor McDavid, I mean, he can do it for sure, but plus 300, plus 330. It's still far too short to back that because he's had such a slow start. Plus, you don't know what's going on with his injury. It's fairly unknown what he's struggling with. And yeah, he's behind the 8 ball. He's so far behind these other guys. He's got a lot of work to catch up. And you got to figure that the Oilers are going to make the playoffs as well because he's not going to win if the Oilers don't. So yeah, Matthews and Hughes I think are decent. Flames fucking scored. But I've been backing Pettersson and McKinnon a lot. McKinnon's still 20-1. He's still putting up points. And yeah, these guys are the horses I'd like to back at this point. Yeah, Quinn Hughes at 40-1. He had another assist today. I like that one still. I know you had a crazy number on him at 300-1.
Yeah, without 200 or 300 there.
I don't know if you maxed that out, but if you didn't, I really regret not getting you to put some money on that down for me too. But anyway, yeah, Quinn Hughes at 41, I think is great. I heard the other day a couple voters said that he was one of their favorites, and he's at 40-1. One of them said jump on that. So I'm just listening to the voters, and the voters are telling you to jump on a guy to win the Hart, and they're fucking voting for it. I think that's a good bet. So Quinn Hughes 41. McCarr is down at 50-1. He's been better too. Like he's putting up 2 3-point games as well. So I still like him. After that, it gets into a bit of a lottery ticket kind of deal. I don't see anyone else really popping out to me right now. Yeah, these guys are not going to win.
I have a few you didn't mention. I like David Pastrnak at 9-1. I mean, the Bruins are still one of the best teams in the league. If they win that division, and he finishes, up there in points. Right now, he has 24. He's 2 behind the Vancouver trio, or maybe 3 behind now after that goal and assist. But Vancouver's not going to keep it up. Panarin's tied with him. He's not going to keep it up. And I could see, Pasternak's going to score most of their goals or have a hand on most of their goals. So I could see him. He finished second last year, so I think at 9-1, that's not too bad there. I was scrolling down a bit. Jack Eichel is at 80-1 here, 75-1, 50-1, different places. I don't think he really has too much of a chance, but if Vegas keeps it up and he can keep up his scoring, there might be some possibility there. They're still 13-3-1, which is an insane start to the year there. And I guess we just have to give our boy Tally some airtime here. What are your thoughts on Crosby at I'm finding him 80-1 here?
Yeah, you're looking at a different book than I am, so it's different prices there. Pastrnak at 9-1 is a lot more feasible than what I'm seeing at 6-1. Yeah, you mentioned him. He was he's up there in the points, and he's carrying the Bruins offense, and the Bruins are apparently on course to win another President's Trophy, so they're going to get some kind of award, I'm sure. Pastrnak would be probably the likeliest at this point. So he's not going to win, or Montgomery's not going to win the Jack Adams. I really doubt either goalie's going to win the Vezina. McAvoy's not going to win Norris. So it's really just Pastrnak for the Hart if they want to reward the Bruins that way. As for Crosby, yeah, 80-1. Yeah, it's all right, but you said they're not going to make the playoffs. You bet Talon that they won't, and I mean, I think that they have a good chance now. I mean, they've been heating up, but they lost the Devils today, and the Metro's turning into a better division than I expected with the Capitals on a roll, the Flyers being good, and the Hurricanes got to turn around, the Rangers being one of the best teams in the league. So it's going to be a gong show in the Metro and in the Atlantic. Like, it's going to be hard to make the playoffs for the Pens. So even at 80-1, it's not making my card, but I can see the logic behind it because, obviously it's a brand name, and Crosby can do whatever the fuck he wants. So, yeah, if you like the Pens, then you bet Crosby at 80-1 too. If you just bet that in addition to the Pens making the playoffs, if you like them to do things going forward. But yeah, that's all I got for that. I'm not betting it myself.
Yeah, he's at 19 points through 14 games. I'm not sure if that includes tonight. Tonight he had an assist. So yeah, he has 20 points in 15 games now. So he's on good pace. I think if the Penguins make the playoffs, if he keeps us up, I think he definitely has a chance. But I think there's too many guys ahead of him, like Hughes. I think even McDavid would be ahead of him at this point as long as he keeps up. He gets back on track. Pastrnak, Panarin's up there. Kucherov, Talon's boy, could be up there as well. So yeah, 80-1. There are definitely worse odds out there. I saw Bedard somewhere where it was like 50-1, which is just absolutely insane. But so at that price, 80-1 for Crosby isn't too bad.
Right. So what do we do next? Vezina?
Next we're brought to you by Game Time. Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite event should not be stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start the hype for the fun you'll have. Game Time app experience is fantastic. Easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event. Flash deals, last-minute tickets, and a lowest price guarantee. And, of course, the images of the seat views, you know exactly what to expect before you arrive. So snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. And win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every sports bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bet's revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. So stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, Joel, where are we going? Where are we going next here around the rink?
I teased Vezina, so let's do that next. Yeah, I want to reiterate, like, if people listening to this show in the early season and in the off season and if they tailed are in a great shape, because I'm in a fucking awesome shape. Like, all these awards are going swimmingly, except for the Calder, but we'll get to that. The Hart would be a lot better if Jack Hughes didn't get injured, because he was going to run away with it. Yeah. He was averaging 2 points a game, but he's going to be back, and he'll be back in the mix there, so that's looking good. Plus, it gave me opportunity to make a nice bet on the Quinn Hughes in particular. So hopefully that comes through. And Elias Patterson at 35-1. You were on that early. I was a little late, but not too late, because he's down to 10-1. Anyway, Vezina, we forecasted that Demko and Ottinger would turn into the favorites, and lo and behold, that is exactly what's happened. They are the favorites in most books now. Sorokin is falling, as he should. He's still probably has the highest ceiling in terms of the best goalie in the league, because based on what he did last year, it was historically good. He was keeping the Islanders afloat. The only reason why they made the playoffs, but this year he doesn't have it. He's being outplayed by his backup, Semyon Varlamov. So the Islanders are looking to fire their coach possibly. They're lost 5 or 6 games in a row. They're on the outside looking in. So Sorokin, you can probably write him off. Connor Hellebuck, still way too short, 12-1. Saros, 10-1. Predators suck as well. These guys are hopeless. Swayman and Allmark are interesting because they're playing elite hockey, especially Swayman, but it's hard to see the voters who are the GMs giving it to another Bruins after last year. They'll credit the system. I've mentioned this before, so I think you can write those guys off as well. Interesting to see Aiden Hill's odds dropping, as they should. A couple days ago I said that people should be betting Aiden Hill, and then lo and behold, people are betting Aiden Hill. So I'm seeing him as low as 15-1 here, and I think he should be third, to be honest. The way that the Knights are playing, and he didn't have a good game today against the Habs, but in general, his numbers have been very good. Plus, he's going to be on a team that's probably has the top 3 likeliest teams to win the President's Trophy. So yeah, and voters, the GMs, like to reward teams with these player awards. So that's a good shout there. Still at 16-1, 15-1. Hopefully you can find better than that. I'm sure you can. After
25-1, yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's excellent. Georgiev, he after a very strong start, he's drifted all the way down to 40-1 here, I'm seeing. And he's the only one I'd be interested in. If the Avs can keep bowling, he gets his game back. I could see him doing things. Carter Hart, interesting at 50-1 as well. We have to hope and pray that the Flyers make the playoffs. Don't think he's winning without that happening. But if they do, he's going to be in the mix, I think. But other than that, I don't like anybody else. How about you? Do you see anything else?
There's one name.
Your guy Cam Talbot is down to 75-1.
I'm not touting Cam Talbot anymore. But the crazy man himself, Jordan Bennington, is 50-1, 60-1, 66-1. He's second in goal save above expected, behind Demko, ahead of Hill. So I think that might be worth a stab. Like, if the Blues make the playoffs and he carries them there, that's definitely a possibility. But yeah, I agree with you.
Blues are coming down to earth. They will. Yeah, I guarantee it.
I agree. It should be Ottinger, Demko. I guess Hill should be third, because I don't think Shesterkin's winning it. I don't think Sorokin's winning it. I guess Sorokin could win it if he bounces back and he gets like the votes that he didn't get last year when he should have won it. But Saros, I don't know how he's still 10-1. He has not been good, and the Predators aren't gonna probably make the playoffs. I mean, they've been fine, but Saros hasn't been good. Hellebuck hasn't been good.
They've been
Swayman's not.
shit. They're bottom of the Central.
Are they that bad? Oh wow, yeah, 5-10. They're okay. They're worse than I thought. So yeah, they have no chance. Swayman has no chance. Then Hill, then Allmark, then Gorgiev, Hart. Yeah, so Hill should be a lot higher. I think he'll definitely be bet into. He's starting most of the games for Vegas, right? He has 9 starts out of the games that they played. Now they've played. Yeah.
Thompson's been all right, but Hill's been better. One more thing, Shesterkin I think could win this award easily because of how well the Rangers are playing, and then they're playing better 5-on-5, giving him more protection. But he's still not the same guy he was 2 years ago when he won the award going away. But yeah, Shesterkin I think is the only. He's probably third choice to Demko and Ottinger, but the odds are not nearly as good as Aiden Hill. So I still like Hill up there, but I think it's really just Demko and Ottinger to lose at this point. They should really be like 4-1, both of them, and maybe Ottinger a little bit favored because I don't think the Canucks are going to maintain this pace, whereas the Stars are a wagon.
Yeah, Ottinger at 6-1 probably is one of the best bets we're gonna talk about it for at least favorites. If you're not talking about like throwing a dart or a long shot, I think him at 6-1, he should definitely be 4-1 or shorter there. Yeah, I was looking back at last year. Like Allmark only started 48 games and Swayman started 33, so that was like a decent split. So I could see a similar split for Hill and Thompson in Vegas, and Hill definitely should be up higher. So if you can still find him 25-1, I think even 20-1 or 15-1 is still a bit too short for how he's playing, and most importantly, how the Knights are playing.
Yeah, man. Okay, let's go on to the Norris, which is, again, it's funny how these things work. Like in the NHL, you know who's going to win these awards like 90% of the time early on. Like you can like write off a lot of the field. We saw that with the Vezina. I think Demko and Ottinger are going to fight to the end. And right now we're going into a rematch of the Calder race between Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar. Quinn Hughes should be, he's obviously winning the award right now. Like 2-1 is still stupid. I would bet that if you don't have him already. He should be just the clear favorite right now. And I think the only one who could catch him is Cale Makar, considering the team plays behind him, given the fact that he is the better player, all things considered. And the Canucks will regress a little bit, whereas the Avalanche have yet to reach their full potential, their final form, so to speak. But I do think that he's already knowledgeable enough to know that now is not when you want to play your best hockey. He's saving it for the playoffs. So that's the case against him. But beyond that, man, like there's not really anybody I can see catching. Like, look, Adam Fox is down to 18-1 now. Finally, after missing a couple of weeks, he was at like 7-1 for the longest time. Yeah. So he had a chance if he stayed healthy, but now he's going to be behind the 8 ball. He's not going to make up the ground. Heiskanen, he's playing behind a Stars team who don't score a lot. I mean, he's an awesome defender and the key of that team, really, but he's not going to have the stats that Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar potentially could put up. Rasmus Dahlin, I don't think the Sabres are going to make the playoffs. Actually, I should mention that now. Yeah, okay. My big bet I made this morning was the Sabres to miss the playoffs. Biggest bet of the year so far at $2. It's gone up slightly, as people realize, oh, Tage Thompson is out, whatever. And Sens and Red Wings shared a point today, so they don't like to see that, and they're not playing good hockey right now. The Buffalo Sabres, they are their goaltending's letting them down. They're going between 3 different guys, which is not a good sign, and they're relying on a rookie, Devon Levi, to carry the majority of the workload. And like I said, Tage Thompson, he broke his hand, so he's going to be out for more than a month. And they're not getting enough offense, even with him in the lineup, to compensate for their poor defense. I bet Sabres over 90.5 before the season, thinking that the young guys would take another step forward, but they haven't really. And yeah, this team is just not there yet. So I fucking smashed Sabres to miss the playoff at minus 200. Just because if you look at the Eastern Conference right now, it is filled. It is flushed with good teams. And it's like, who are they beating out? Are they beating out the Lightning? Are they beating out the Leafs? Are they beating out the Panthers? The Bruins are a lock. and that's just the Atlantic, where the Red Wings are still far ahead of them, and the Sens are coming up from behind. They have a game in hand, and I think just 1 point behind them, and they're just the better team in my opinion. And then you look at the Metro. The Metro, like I mentioned before, they're suddenly a strong division with the Capitals. What they're doing lately, I don't think that'll be sustainable, but certainly they're looking better than the Sabres. And then they get the Flyers coming up. They're looking strong. They should have had a couple more wins, just a bit unlucky in a couple games. And the Hurricanes, the Devils, the Rangers are running away with it. So they're probably going to have 4 teams in there. So do you tell me the Sabres are going to beat out all these Atlantic teams to get in like the top 3 or 4 in their division? I don't think so. I don't see it at all. So I just laid the hammer on that. And yeah, like I said, we like the Jets tomorrow. So that'll be a good start for this campaign for the Buffalo Sabres to miss the playoffs. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great look, and you got a fantastic line there at -200. The best I'm seeing is -245. So that's 45 cents off. That's a quarter higher, 25% higher of what
it should be -400. So it's still good.
Yeah, I mean it's still a good bet, but it's a matter of if you want your money. If you're like a casual bettor where you're not betting that much, it's probably not worth having your money tied up, as you said last show about Bedard. But like if you're putting big money, if you're putting big money down, if you're viewing it more as like a investment, quote unquote, then yeah, I don't think they're making the playoffs. So even with Thompson healthy, I don't know if it would have been good enough.
I was going to get into that like 2 shows ago, I think that was, where I explained the Bedard thing. Flames scored again. Blake Coleman. I was saying like the juice, you tying up your money for all that time, but it's different with the Calder because it's a more volatile market. Things happen, injuries happen, whatever, and other guys can come up from behind. Plus, it's this is a 2-way market, so it's either they make the playoffs or they miss the playoffs. That's it. In the Calder, there's 1,000 different bets you can make. Most of them are total shit and not worth 5 cents. But say I think that Bedard has a 75% chance to win the award. That makes Bedard at -250 still a good bet. But if I think that Karlsson has a 10% chance to win the award, 40-1 is a great bet. So you can have 2 good bets in the same market, and that's the difference between this, where there can only be 1 good bet in a 2-way market, and that is for the Sabres to miss the playoffs. So yeah, that's why I'm quite fine with laying the juice there. This is just a great investment, and it'll pay off over time. And plus, it's just more fun to cheer for the 40-1s rather than the plus 180 or whatever it is for the Sabres to make at this point. And yeah, so that's I'm covering my ass there for anybody coming at me for saying don't lay the juice for this long.
Yeah, and that you'll be able to get cash that out 2 months prior. I mean, because the season ends mid-April, their awards aren't until late June, and you're going to know in February, March, like if your bet's going to hit or not. So you're not going to. I mean, even with Bedard, you might know it's going to hit, but you're still waiting so long for that -200. But 2 months shorter. I mean, we're almost we're midway through November here, so that's just 5 months away. So yeah, it's a great point there.
Thank you. What about the Norris? Do you have any thoughts on the Norris?
Oh yeah, the Norris. I completely agree that Quinn Hughes at 2-1, if that's still there, I think you have to take that. I mean, it's basically, I think it's Quinn Hughes's award to lose right now, unless he gets hurt. I think that's the only possible way, unless he just goes completely cold and the Canucks go completely cold. But yeah, a lot of his points on the power play, 12 of his 25 points or 26 points are on the power play as 1 shorthanded point. 13 and 26. Yeah, half and half. I guess Makar could come up and beat him, especially if there is some sort of injury or big cold streak for the Canucks. But like you said, Makar is focusing on the cup. He's not focusing on getting the Norris, and Quinn Hughes is going to play his best hockey throughout the whole season. So, and people are already talking about it. People are already talking about him for Hart. So yeah, I think Hughes at 2-1, he could be, even money by this month, this time next month.
Probably. I mean, Makar is going to do some things. Plus, he has like the McDavid factor. Everyone knows he's the best defenseman, so that prevents his odds from getting too long. But yeah, I think that he should be even money at this point. Just he's so good right now, and he's carrying this team in a lot of ways. With what they're doing on the power play, especially, like they can't score 5-on-5. That's the big problem. But it doesn't matter if they keep scoring all these power play goals. So yeah, Quinn Hughes is the runaway favorite.
I was distracted. I saw the Sharks were up 1-0 on the Blues.
I know.
Very early on. That's not good.
Blues power play though. So next up is the Calder. There's not much to say here except that Leo Carlson has finally been bet. I see he's 14-1 at the book I'm looking at. I don't know what you're seeing on the book you're looking at or books.
25 on this odds comparison site here.
All right. Well, I don't recommend that, but when he was at 40-1, yeah, definitely take some shots there. Another thing too, going back to what I was talking about in terms of the juice and whatever, is that like now the odds are, or the players are getting to the right position. Before we had Bobby Brink ahead of him, we had Joseph Wall ahead of him, Matt Poitras ahead of him. These guys are never winning the award. The 0.01% chance they're winning the award. Actually, I shouldn't say that about Wall because I did say that he could win before, but highly unlikely anyway. Whereas Carlson, I think, legitimately had like a 10% chance. But now at 14-1, you know, that's getting close to 10%. I don't think it's worth it now with how Bedard is just running away with it at this point. I saw Logan Cooley almost scored today, but it was a tip. So he got the assist at least. I don't know if Bedard had any points in the game against the Lightning. They only had 2 goals, so hopefully not. But yeah, the award is obviously Bedard's to lose. He's going to win if he stays healthy, most likely, unless Carlson just goes an absolute heater. Plus, he still has these fucking load management games. He missed the game against the Predators due to that reason because they're on the back-to-back, so that's not good. And while Bedard is playing like 25 minutes a game, seemingly. And yeah, this is turning into a boring market because there is we mentioned the vulnerable favorites. Well, Bedard is the opposite. He is a fortified favorite. We can call it that because he is securely in the driver's seat and probably should be, more expensive than minus 285, to be honest. But again, this is it's a long time to take that price to the bank. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. I think Leo Carlson should be second, but it's tough when he's missing games and Bedard is just fucking good.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bedard's up to minus 300 now on a legal book. Do you know is he up like much higher on that offshore? He was up like high on before. I'm not sure if you've checked that recently, but
Carlson?
Yeah, I mean, oh no, Bedard, because he was like minus 300 like a few weeks into the season before all the other books moved.
I don't know. He's been flirting with like maybe the best price I saw on him after the season started was like minus 175. Like after he had those the first few games where he was scoring his goals and whatever. But it's a boring market now, unfortunately. But hopefully we can get a miracle with Leo Carlson or no, that's pretty much it. I don't think anyone else can win. No.
Logan Cooley, I guess, has a chance. He has 12 points. I know 10 of them are assists, 1 point behind Bedard, and 3 more games played. Cooley, arguably has better talent around him, but he would have to significantly outscore Bedard or have Bedard get hurt or something for him not to win it at this point.
It's unfortunate they're playing in 2 shit markets too, where nobody's paying attention. Like they have to really statistically outperform Bedard to win. So yeah, that sucks. But what are you gonna do?
Yep.
All right. Last one, I guess, with my fucking favorite, the Jack Adams. At this time I've got so much fucking equity. I'm overflowing with equity. I am coming out the ears with equity because of all my talket bets. Mainly, although there's some other stuff looking good too, like Greg Cronin punches 60-1 on him. He's down to like 15-1, and Derek Lalonde as well. But right now, at this point, just bet on Rick Tocchet. Really, he's at 5-1 here. That's a better price at the book I'm looking at than most places. He should be like 2-1 at this point. Like he's you mentioned before, he was getting slobbered over on TNT, the national broadcast. Wayne Gretzky was absolutely pumping his tires. And that's what you want to see when it comes to this kind of thing, especially because it is voted on by broadcasters and the media types. So absolutely love Rick Tocchet still, even at 5-1, 4-1. And the Canucks would have to go like sub 500 for him to lose, I think, unless Peter Laviolette has a case. I mean, a new coach coming in, he turns the Rangers around, turns them into an absolute juggernaut. Like if they do something close to what the Bruins did last year, they keep winning these games even without Hedel and Fox and Shesterkin. Yeah, so he has a case for sure. I played some defense. I bought some of Lavi at 22-1, but I can afford to do so because I've got all this equity built in, like I said, with Rick Tocchet. So I'm just it's the best position to be in because you can still bet Tocchet because his odds are still too long, and you can also play defense with some of the other guys whose odds are too long. Because Bruce Cassidy plus 850, never a fucking chance. He's not winning the award. They won the fucking division last year. He would have to, I don't know, lose like 6 games left in the regular season for him to win. And they almost lost to the Habs today. So, Todd McClellan, get the fuck out of here. I don't think so at these short prices. So, yeah, it's really just looking down the board. I mean, if you think that the Sens going to run, DJ Smith back up to 25-1. They had a nice win today. He's also the favorite to be the first coach fired, though, or next coach fired, I should say. So that's a bit of a risk. But they do have the Sens have started slowly throughout his tenure there. Like the last 3 years, they always have these slow starts, but they pick it up late in the season. Plus, they'll get Pinto back halfway through. And the goaltending is still getting used to the new system and whatnot. So I think the Sens will get better over time. Other than that, it's your boy Chris Knobloch down at 20-1.
Yes, I was going to mention him.
Yeah, that's something to watch for sure. But yeah, the Oilers definitely have the capability. I mean, we talk about their expected goals, the Corsi, like their numbers are excellent. It's just failure to put the puck in the net and a failure to make some saves. And if they do those things, and the Oilers come with this miracle run here to get back near the top of the division, I guess he could be live. So I'll be keeping my eye on that knob. But it's still a wait and see with the Oilers because they beat the Kraken twice. Come on, the Kraken suck. They're about to fire their coach seemingly. I've got my eye on Dave Hackstall, next coach fired. He's still in double digits. Yeah, we'll see how the game at the Islanders goes today. I think that's 2-1 for the Kraken now. So, yeah, Andre Tourigny, the Coyotes won again today, 20-1. That's decent. Paul Maurice 15-1. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Jim Montgomery 15-1. Nope. So yeah, it's just these teams that missed the playoffs last year and have a case to make major improvements. So the voters reward the coaches for these massive improvements. So those are the guys that I always look towards because their odds are always going to be far better than these guys in established playoff teams. So yeah, that's I love this fucking market.
Yeah, I mean Lavia at 20-1. I think that's a bit long for where the Rangers are right now, especially without those key players. If Shesterkin can turn it on, if Fox can come back and be a Norris Trophy candidate, yeah, they could win the President's Trophy. It would probably take the Canucks falling off a bit, but for 20-1, I don't mind that at all. Chris Knobloch at 25-1. You know, the Oilers have now won 3 in a row. Maybe he unlocks something, or the Oilers finally get the luck that they've been trying to earn over the start of the season, and they make the playoff. I mean, they're probably gonna make the playoffs, but if they make a push for the division, could see that there at 25-1. And I thought you were gonna say John Tortorella, 35-1 when you were saying my boy there. 35-1 for Tortorella.
Too many fucking coaches, man. I bet like too many coaches. But yes, Tortorella, he's on the march now. Like what 2-3 games in a row now. The Flyers. Yeah. So they're cooking again. Like, I hope you guys got on some better numbers than I did. The Flyers are up to 175-1 for the division at some point. That's better than my 125-1 at least, and they're back in the mix. I haven't looked at the Metro standings in a couple games here. Where are they? Where are they in the standings?
I don't think they're in the mix for the division.
Oh, come on, have a belief here. All right, they're fifth. They're only six behind the Rangers, 2 games behind. They played 2 more games, but whatever. Things could happen.
It's early. Plenty of time. Yeah,
exactly.
At 35-1, if the Flyers make the playoffs, which they're 5-6-1 to do, like that's 7 times better than that. So, yeah, if you're not on Torts already, if you're not too heavy on Tocchet, throw something on Torts. 35-1.
I love the Flyers at 5-1 for playoffs. Still, I got them at 8-1, but not 5-1 is just as good, really, because I think they have a very good chance of making. I mean, they're right ahead. They're right behind the Hurricanes, and they play the same amount of games. And yeah, like I said, the Sabres aren't making it. The Habs are going to cool down. They already lost 3 in a row. The Islanders are falling apart. Blue Jackets forget about it, and the Penguins, we both think that they ultimately miss. And yeah, I mean that eliminates a lot of the fodder teams. So just beat 1 or 2 of these good teams, and all of a sudden the Flyers are in it, and their numbers are great. Like if you look at the expected goals and whatnot, they're up there. They're definitely worthy of a playoff spot. So 5-1, excellent bet, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And as long as Carter Hart is healthy, which he's always seemed to have nagging injuries, lower body injuries throughout his career. I mean, his injury this year was fucking having the shits. So hopefully you can avoid some of that out of food poisoning fish out in San Jose, and you can put this team on his back because they're 10th best expected goals 4% at 5-on-5. Tortorella's got them playing the right way, and they're even without Ristolainen. I know I shit on him, but he's a solid top 4 defenseman for them. There's no really been any update on him, but if he can come back, yeah, the Flyers are definitely live for the playoffs. Just not for the division, I would say.
All right, we'll see. There's plenty of hedging opportunities when you have 175-1.
Yeah,
you just bet the fuck out of the Rangers, I guess.
That's very true. Any other team futures you got your eyes on here? You just want to close this one out?
One more, and this one was one I almost placed today. I gave it some thinking. I wanted to bet the Flames to miss the playoffs at -155. I spent some time thinking. 45 minutes later, it moved up to -165. So I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what happens tonight. Hopefully the Canucks win, but if the Canucks lose, it'll get a better price for Flames to miss the playoffs tomorrow. And so far, the Flames are up 3-1. So I'm absolutely going to hammer the Flames to miss the playoffs tomorrow because it's going to be a flame sale. Like we keep saying, like everybody's interested in their players, and their players are not interested in staying in Calgary. So the GM's going to be moving these guys. So I got to get on that before those trades happen, because then this line's going to skyrocket up, and the Flames are not going to make the playoffs. And that's a great price. I should have just done it right when I saw the number. But hopefully we get a better price if they win this game. Either way, -160. I'll still do that tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. The Canucks are making it. The Knights are making it. The Kings are making it. Even the Ducks have a chance to make it. And then there's the Jets, the Avs, the Stars, the Coyotes, a bunch of teams in the Central as well. So yeah, the Flames have the Oilers coming up from behind them too. They're looking like themselves. So this might be even better, a bigger bet than the Sabres bet. Like both these teams are not making the playoffs. You can even parlay them if you can, if you don't want to pay the juice. So absolutely love the Flames to miss the playoffs. Bet that when those markets reopen, preferably after they beat the Canucks here, though hopefully the Canucks pull it out in the end. Although I have the under in this one, so that'd be still no. Canucks win is always best. Let's fucking go Canucks.
Yeah, I think that's a great look. Flames to miss the playoffs here, -162. That should hopefully come down if they get a win tonight. Yeah, and then the Wild behind them too. Like the Wild. I know we hate on them, but they're going to be more competitive than the Blues down the stretch and the Coyotes down the stretch. Hopefully, so
they have a better chance than the Blues to make the playoffs, even still. And yeah, that's another one that I got my eye on. Dean Evison to next goes Fire, but he's down to 3-1 now. So I missed the boat on that after betting 18-1. Then the fucking Oilers got rid of Jake Woodcroft. Terrible decision. Fuck you, Ken Holland and Jack, whatever your name is, the McDavid's old agent. That pissed me off.
All right, there. That's our weekly or so player award team future update. There, I think I got some. Markets are they're starting to narrow down, starting to get only a few candidates at each award. So hopefully it can remain interesting throughout the season. But if not, hopefully you guys got in some good bets here early on.
For the entertainment's sake, I hope they're interesting. Unlike last year where they were all decided by like January, but for my sake, I hope they're all decided in like 3 weeks. All my guys are like -300. But as I think that they are on course to be pretty quickly here if things maintain the same pace. But yeah, in terms of doing these segments, it's not going to be interesting if all the Canucks guys are -600.
Yeah, we'll have to do more team futures. Look at division by division, more tedious stuff. So yeah, I mean, hopefully for your bankroll, they kind of run away. But yeah, there's also some entertainment, some content on the side of it. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Make sure you subscribe to the Hockey Gentleman Podcast on YouTube, as well as wherever you listen to your podcasts. If it's on Apple, leaves a 5-star rating and review, so I have something to read here in the show. Or I'll read your YouTube comments too. We haven't had any YouTube comments in a while, so make sure you do that. Give us some likes, subscribe there as well. Get in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. Always a great time in there, throwing out bets, throwing out all types of stuff in there. So make sure you get there. Follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN, our social media assistant producer. Doing a great job there, pumping out the content. And yeah, make sure you follow me on Twitter at I'm Ryan Gilbert. Follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Meyer, and you likely find me eating some salami tonight. We're looking on pace for the daily goals over 58.5. I think we're on
Are
pace
we?
for that.
I thought it was not looking good earlier.
No. We had there was 11 goals in the Habs Knights game. We should be on pace.
All right,
and not
yes.
9 goals in the early game. No, we should be eating well tonight. Eat the meat.
Gobble gobble. See ya.